People here on YouTube give a lot of generic advice, like just improve your AVD or your CTR and you'll get a million views. But if it were that simple, everyone would have a big YouTube channel. But top creators often hide their actual secrets behind their success. So today I'll be ungatekeeping the exact 8-point strategy that got me to 1.2 million subscribers and well over 200 million long form views. Let's go straight into number 1. Plan B is just a distraction from plan A. At the start of my career, I adopted the all-in mentality for YouTube. I was young and willing to do whatever it took to make it on YouTube. And at this point in my life, it was a perfect time to go all in. The first few years on YouTube are definitely some of the hardest. The hours are long and usually you don't have the greatest results, and you definitely don't quote unquote make it usually in the first couple years. It's a critical time to remain patient and keep on grinding it out. If you quit during this phase, you'll never become a full-time YouTuber. It often takes years to grow a channel. And once I slowly grew my channel to 50,000 subscribers during my second year of college, I knew it was time to switch on from YouTube being my plan B to my full plan A to make things really work. I realized to properly execute my dream, it meant I had to wipe out all other distractions in life, which meant leaving a higher education behind, which is definitely a little risky. I think many people can definitely realistically balance YouTube and school, but it is not for the faint of heart. It is a big challenging thing to overcome. And this also goes for if you're working a part-time job or even a full-time job as well. I think anyone can actually balance it in all these different types of situations, and there's different strategies to go about for each one of these different situations as well. But I do think no matter what situation you're in, you can definitely find a good balance. And there's a time and place to start going full-time on YouTube. And I was actually really lucky. I was able to go back and live with my mom for a few years at her house in a shed outside. I technically was probably making enough to live on my own, but of course living with someone that you trust and is going to give you free rent or at least a big discount hopefully means that every dollar I made on YouTube can be invested back in. That means my channel can accelerate growth even quicker. So turning YouTube into my plan A and taking the full risk of dropping out of college was definitely something that really accelerated my career. I definitely think I could have made YouTube and a higher education work at the same time, but I definitely would not be where I am today. Number 2, don't make excuses, level up your content. Once you hit the level where you're working at YouTube full time, you start to naturally compare yourself to other people making YouTube videos in your niche that you're creating them, and even outside of your niche and basically everyone else on YouTube. Sometimes it is important to gather inspiration and critical data to compare your channel to others on YouTube. This is important to gather information to see what everyone else is doing on the platform. But if you take this even more serious and take it even a step further and truly think about what they're doing for their strategy, how much effort they're putting in their channel, their quality, and their execution on their videos, this will take you a lot further in your career. For example, say you're starting a car washing business. Of course, you could just start the business and try to get clients and just figure it out as you go, and I guess this does work for some people. But a way more intelligent way to go, of course, and will save you way more time, probably years, is probably going to be researching other car washing businesses, see how much they charge, how they get their clients, how they do the marketing, and of course, other things that have to do with the business. It's almost like taking a shortcut in the path. This will probably save you years of hard work because the first person that started a car washing business had to figure out everything on their own. But you're not the first YouTuber, trust me. So look at what's working on YouTube. This will save you years of time and headache just seeing what's actually working. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here. You're just going to be making a better version of something that's already existing. There is of course some examples in YouTubers that really make their own path that no one's done before, but it's obviously quite rare. I often see a lot of beginning creators, see people that have been on the platform for many years and maybe have hundreds of thousands of subscribers or millions of subscribers, and they often have this mentality of they're just better than me or they're naturally more gifted on camera, and that's why they are where they are. It's kind of this victim mentality. These creators often say to themselves, I'll never reach their level, or they have some unfair advantage that got them there quicker than what I could do. This is the wrong way to think. You need to be realistic and think about this rationally. How do you actually build the gap between their content and your content? I'm talking about skills, effort, time, quality, and their videos versus yours. I mean, ask yourself, how else are you going to grow? Why would someone go on the platform and watch something that's subpar to some of the best performing videos? You need to take your videos to their level. The growth on YouTube doesn't magically just happen. It's the consistency of trying over and over and making your videos better each time. Even with a few hundred subscribers or even a couple thousand subscribers, I still compared myself with people that had hundreds of thousands of subscribers or even millions of subscribers. I tried to get my videos as close as I could to their level, because if you could bridge that gap between your quality and their quality, that's going to make you get more views on YouTube. Because YouTube doesn't really care about how many subscribers you have, it just cares about how good the video is. So as long as your video is as good as theirs or better, then of course YouTube is gonna push it. Truly take a minute and watch other competitors in your niche's videos and see what actually makes them better, or other people on YouTube as well. There's always something to learn from everyone on YouTube. And of course, after you figure out what you need to improve on, close the gap, no more excuses. It's time to step up and compete with the best on the platform. YouTube doesn't make you compete with just creators at your same level. You are competing against everyone. So why wouldn't you be the absolute best at your game you're playing on YouTube? So knowing this, of course, when I started to blow up in my first part of my career, I try to make my videos as good, if not better, than other ones on the platform that were making similar videos than me. And of course, what really blew me up is making a unique spin on them that they weren't doing at all. And after combining all of this, that's what really made me start to grow on YouTube. Number 3, you're a creative, but the numbers matter more than your feelings. Most creators start the love of the game of YouTube by just making content for the love of the game, or making art in the way that you want to express yourself here on YouTube. But once you start to take YouTube seriously, it's time to put your business hat on. You have to learn about all of the other things that have to do with the YouTube business, like money management, time management, and even emotional management. We'll go over all 3 of these, but let's start with the money management side of things. Sometimes you want to create this massive dream project on your channel. You have to create a budget and do things smart. You need to calculate the proper return on investment of your actual videos, figuring out how to scale your brand the most effectively, and still saving money on the side for taking advantage of good opportunities that come your way here on YouTube, or the savings will help you keep afloat when of course you have a couple back-to-back hard months. Your goals shift from creating fun projects here on YouTube to making the best and smartest moves for your business and your future. And this means following the numbers. For example, if you create a video series you love making, but it loses money and your audience doesn't even like it, it might be time to cut your losses and try something else, and put your time into something that's more productive. But in my experience, the perfect situation is you find something you like to create and your audience does as well. This is the perfect mix for sustainability here on YouTube. Next up, we'll talk about time management. Trust me, it is incredibly hard to manage your time as a creator. There is always something to do. There's pitching brand deals, scripting videos, recording videos, planning videos, or even ordering special supplies for your next video. I don't even remember a time in my whole career that I sat down one day and thought, wow, I have nothing to do today. There is always something to get ahead on or do right now. But what will set you apart on YouTube and compound over time is the strategic use of your hours. Learning which tasks actually move the needle is the only way to be effective on YouTube. Last but not least is emotional management. This one surprised me throughout my career, but it's actually really critical. When you post your new video and it's a 10 out of 10, you get that terrible feeling and sometimes you feel like quitting, but you have to manage your emotions properly so you don't turn a couple bad uploads into a couple bad months here on YouTube. It's really easy to get in this negative loop spiral. The more bad you do, the worse it makes you think, and that just makes you do worse over time in my experience. And on the opposite side of things, when you get back-to-back 1 out of 10s and you're feeling on top of the world, you still need to do your post-upload homework. Still figure out why exactly the video did work, and still what you could do next time to improve the video, even if it's a 1 out of 10. Or maybe you can even spin it into another video series. There's always something to learn if it's a really bad or really good video. And with all this talk about emotional management, this is a perfect segue into our next section. And that is number 4. Mental health is more important than you think. As YouTubers, we put all of our energy, money, and time into making the best videos possible. But sometimes this leads to unfortunately neglecting our physical or mental health. But remember, if you go 100% in on YouTube and forget to protect your own fatigue, you can easily start to burn out and start to resent the platform. I've gone through a whole bunch of stages of burnout in my career. And in the beginning of my career, I could have definitely avoided a lot of these situations by simply just prioritizing little things I was pushing aside. For example, like having a proper workout schedule, prioritizing friends or family, or maybe just a little me time. And don't get me wrong, it's crucial to locking in on your craft, but it's equally just as important to live your life as well. Take proper breaks and give yourself room to breathe. The most important thing for YouTube is staying in the game as long as you can, not having a good year or two on YouTube and burning out and just quitting the platform altogether. We want to keep you in the game as long as possible. It sounds a little weird at first, but hear me out. You need to over time see how you actually operate as a person. How much stress can you handle? How do you process YouTube comments? And what does the most optimal work-life balance look for you? Everyone's going to give you their own opinion on what worked for them in their career, and they're going to think that's the best thing for you because it worked for them. But you need to look a little bit deeper and figure out what exactly works for you as a person. Everyone's different, even if some person on the internet's going to tell you different. And let's face it, during your career, you're probably going to have some times of some crazy work hours. Between balancing consistent algorithm changes and the mental and financial toll of some failed video projects, you you must treat YouTube as a long-term game. Ask yourself this important question: how do I keep this sustainable for myself that allows me to do this full time for many years to come? For example, here's one thing that helped me in my career was establishing a daily routine. Often as YouTubers, we're always doing different things every single day. So if you have a very consistent routine that sets your day up well, I think that really worked well for me. It might work well for you as well. Something to try. For example, getting decent sleep, maybe working out in the morning before you start making videos, and writing your own schedule what you need to do the night before. It's probably a better strategy than just working every day until you collapse on random things that come up every day. And in my experience, bad work habits start to breed bad personal habits. I'll use myself for an example. During a chapter where I was working some crazy hours and basically 7 days a week, I stopped eating so healthy, started to overeat, and just stopped overall taking care of myself as much and didn't work out as much as I used to. And I think I gained a lot of weight, like 40 or 50 pounds or something like that. It was bad. I definitely didn't really feel that unhealthy, but once I realized what was happening, I got back to the gym, ate better, slept better, and got some better habits. I fixed my daily routine, and what do you know? I lost all the weight. I didn't notice at first, but all the bad habits slowly started to compound over time. It's not like it happens all at once usually. It just kind of slowly trickles in over a couple months or a couple years. I thought I was doing a good thing by working all of the time because I was really trying to build my career. But looking back at things, even if I had a really healthy schedule, I probably would have got a similar amount of things done. So I was just shooting myself in the foot for no reason with all these bad habits. Something definitely to watch out for in your career, especially the early stages. But even after I lost all this weight and had some better habits, what do you know, my channel even grew the same, if not even better at that time. Trust me, work hard, but your health is even more important. And if you work hard and have your health, you're probably going to produce way better videos anyway. Number 5, pivoting is 100% necessary. This is arguably one of the most critical skills a YouTuber can develop. Creators who fail to pivot almost always lose their viewers and eventually fail on YouTube. I often see this very common trend happen here on YouTube all the time. A creator works tirelessly to finally find a video or video series that works really well on their channel. But then they start to beat a dead horse and just repeat the same series or video over and over and over because that's the only type of content that's working on their channel. And of course, the mindset is if it's not broken, don't fix it. But on YouTube, it's a little bit more complicated than that. This is true in some ways, but great views usually don't last forever. Eventually, your audience will get tired of that video or video series and want to watch something else. It's just average human psychology. Yes, there are rare outliers where you have a video series where your audience wants to watch it years and years and years in the future, and they just only want to see that type of content. There's a couple creators on the platform like this, but it's really rare. It's your job as a creator to anticipate what your audience might want to watch next and adapt over time to give your audience what they might want to watch in the future by doing different tests on your channel to see what they might want to watch next. One thing is certain in life and on YouTube as well. Change is guaranteed. Either use it to your advantage or it will use you and kill your channel. What I've seen works in my career and other channels on YouTube. The correct way to balance this approach is of course keep making videos your audience likes to watch now, but at the same time, every couple videos, maybe every third or fourth video, try a new concept that would spice things up. And maybe you find one that your audience actually likes more or just as much, and of course then make a new video series on that. There's going to be some love and hate for your new video concepts, but over time, your audience will thank you for creating more unique content that they didn't know they wanted to watch before watching it. That separates the great creators from the normal ones. The difference between milking a current format that's working versus trying to figure out a next one that's going to work even better. The balance between both of these is the best way to approach this on YouTube. Make videos on what's working, but also be doing some tests as well. Number 6, don't take no for an answer. Your YouTube journey will likely not be a straight line to success. There will be many ups and many downs, but the trick is never let a no make you quit or give up on your YouTube dreams. For example, if you watch my channel regularly, you'll know that a few videos back, I posted the unfortunate story of YouTube stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from me, forcing me to shut down multiple businesses and demonetizing like almost all my channel. But I didn't let that no stop me and stop me from making YouTube videos. The game of entrepreneurship and YouTube will challenge you deeply. And that is a great thing because it forces you to grow and refuse to let a few setbacks destroy everything. I have failed at YouTube in many different ways. I had failed businesses, failed channels, of course failed video projects as well. Many to count. But the only time everything works is if you stay consistent and don't give up. And sometimes that consistency will play out different than you expected. Maybe it's pivoting your channel in a new direction or scrapping a business idea that was never going to work out good for your channel, no matter how badly you wanted it to. The rules of the game are always changing, but the one thing that truly matters is that you don't stop playing the game. You must adapt, overcome, and push past obstacles. And trust me, they're going to come. You're almost guaranteed to face hardship on this path. But trust me when I say it is 100% worth it. And no matter what you do in life, perseverance is always a great quality to have. And it's no different here on YouTube. Against all odds, don't give up. And if I'm being honest honest with myself, this is what separates the great creators from the average ones. It's kind of like a massive game of who won't take no for an answer the longest, and of course making the best videos along the path as well. For example, look at Mr. Beast. He was making YouTube videos for many years without any success, but he knew in the back of his mind he would stop at nothing to become a YouTuber. This is basically the perfect YouTube mentality. He would stop at nothing to make it work. But remember, and this is a big thing to note, you need to ensure that your content is actually up to par. You have to improve your videos every single time. Otherwise, you're just gonna be working hard for many years for nothing. The balance between input and output, working hard, but most importantly, working smart, is the absolute key here on YouTube. Number 7, grow past your comfort zone. Once you've mastered all the things we've talked about in today's video so far, you'll probably be settled into a great routine and flow. And you'll probably start to get pretty comfortable with how things work here on YouTube. But this is probably the exact time you need to sit yourself down and realize it might be time for a change. It's time to grow past your comfort zone. To protect yourself from algorithm shifts and dying trends that were once working on your channel, you must anticipate your audience and what they might want to watch next. Because of course, they'll probably get bored of what's currently working maybe in a few months or a few years. I'm not saying you need to be constantly filled with anxiety, but you should always be ready and open to test new formats. For most creators, there is a time and a place where you need to put on your blinders, ignore all distractions, and go all in on a format that's crushing it on your channel. Capitalizing on momentum on YouTube is really important. However, once things start to level off on a format that was once working well, you cannot stay complacent. You need to do one of two things. Number 1 is capitalize on the expansive growth and start a business with all this new video traffic. For example, when things were working really well, I tried a few different businesses, the Airsoft Club and WAG Armory. And I did this when my channel was at its peak of growth, taking full advantage of the actual growth I had on my channel. The businesses wouldn't have worked as well as they did, of course, if I did this any later. So it's all about timing. Or number 2, double down on the content side of things and make more videos and maybe get more sponsors in your videos. And to do both of these, I really highly recommend outsourcing. Hiring editors, hiring thumbnail artists will save you massive time here on YouTube. In most cases, they'll do an even better job than you probably. This is one of the single most best moves I did on my channel. And to be honest, without the help of my amazing editors and thumbnail artists, I wouldn't even be able to do 2 channels at the same time. And I accidentally made the mistake of waiting years to delegate. My channel would have been probably way bigger at this time. Many creators fall into this mindset or thinking that no one can edit the videos as good as I can, or articulate my exact comedy, for example, on camera. But this mindset will only stunt your growth on YouTube. If you get used to the fact of always evolving and constantly shooting for growth, it'll force you to evolve as a person and a YouTuber. And this will help you scale your channel to the next level. And trust me, your expansive growth cycles won't last forever. So use them to your advantage. Remember, comfort kills. Number 8, find your goal. This last point, I need you to go a little bit deeper. I need you to ask yourself, what really drives you here on YouTube? Why are you starting a YouTube channel and what your end goal might be? 99% of the time, if your sole goal is to get rich and famous here on YouTube, you're probably gonna fail. As soon as times get tough and your videos flatline for months or maybe even years, and you don't really get that blow up success that you thought you would, you're gonna need a deeper purpose here on YouTube to really keep you going. Sometimes you can grow fast here on YouTube, don't get me wrong, but more often, it takes a lot longer than you expect. During these times of uncertainty, you need to know your why. I'll share mine just for an example. I have a few different ones, of course, but at the core, it was just a pure passion for YouTube, combined with my struggles in the traditional system. School and I did not get along, so I knew I needed to take a different path in life, and that path was entrepreneurship. I researched everything under the sun to try to make money that was different than doing a higher education, but YouTube was the one that stuck. Trust me, I did not have a overnight success, but my passion and interest on the platform of YouTube never faded. Even to this day, making videos for over 13 years, I'm still as intrigued as ever. And I'm proud to say, after many sacrifices, and even missing out with some time with friends throughout high school and the start of college, I have finally achieved my dream and became a full-time YouTuber. So ask yourself, what is your why? Is it to use YouTube as organic marketing for your business? Is it to become a full-time YouTuber and achieve your dreams of that? Or is it just to have fun? And then if things get hard over time and your videos don't blow up, you know your why and why you're actually doing it and why you shouldn't give up on yourself. And if you did YouTube for months or years and you didn't have any success, would your passion still drive you? Or are you doing YouTube for the wrong reasons? Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you want to help me reach my goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers, here's the subscribe button right there. We're getting pretty close, so thank you all of you guys for subscribing. We're over halfway there. And I know if you like this video, you're gonna like that one as well. Here's that video right there. Without further ado, I'll catch you guys in the next one.